started to work on meditating. I think the only player I've ever met who meditated his whole life is Tiger. And there's probably no one who's been more, at least in our generation, been more in the thick of the battle than him. And just to see how calm he is when he's going through that, where everyone else is, you can tell they're shaken up. What breathing does, it's really hard to breathe and think at the same time. So, and he's taught how to breathe. It's not just like, it's the way he's using his diaphragm, the position of his chest, position of his chin. It works, and we call it centering.
Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, it's pretty, it's complex, but it's just more, it's more a function of, in this society, it'd be interesting to see how many people are actually even aware of how they're breathing. Probably the only time we breathe consistently is when we're sleeping. And what happens is when the mind's going and we're thinking and it's speeding up, the nervous system's speeding up, we're not focusing on that. And that obviously, your mind being busy is just defined as tension. If you're tense, your mind's busy, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. Okay, so I get onto a par 3 and I don't like the way the hole looks, and it just starts right there. I can consciously tell myself, well, I can just pretend this is a hole I like, but subconsciously there's something about it I don't like. It's like everyone who's at their home course, there's that one hole they don't like, and they wonder why they double it every time. You kind of have to go back into the experience and re-perceive it, and then move forward from there. But that's another discussion. But it's just more taking some deep breaths. Like, he doesn't count to 10, or there's not 14 breaths or 17 breaths. I just would imagine that for Hunter, when he does it, things just kind of start going like this. You ever see For the Love of the Game with Kevin Costner? Remember at the start where he was like fire mechanism, and the stands were going away and all he could see was the mitt? I would imagine it's something like that. Unfortunately, I've never been as good as these guys, so I would see the gallery. But I had to do a lot to help myself get where there was some clarity, because my mind runs pretty quickly. But it's just more of that than anything. It's just going behind the ball and trying to see what it is that you want to do. Your attention has to equal your intention. So if your intention is to hit a solid shot, then your attention has to be on seeing it, feeling it, and being in balance and rhythm. So if your intention is to hit a good shot, your attention shouldn't be on 90-degree angle, shoulder under the chin, load into the left heel. If your intention on the range is to make a good swing, you can think about all those things. But that's what separates them. Yes?